Hi Tiny Bakers, it is time to continue our Christmas baking, and today we have a treat for you. It's a cake we call a gift cake. Do you know why it's called a gift cake? It's called a gift cake because on the outside it just looks like a regular cake, and then when you cut into it, there's a surprise. I'm going to give you a hint what we're going to put inside our gift cake. Any ideas? That's your clue. Everybody loves Rudolph, right? Today's cake baking is going to be a little bit different. We're going to use the kitchen oven. So if you need permission, be sure to get it now. Preheat your oven to 350, grab your baking supplies, and come bake with us.
Okay, the first thing we're going to make is our red cake for Rudolph's nose. We're going to use our red velvet cake. So pour the mix in a bowl, add 2 tablespoons of water, and stir well. We're going to get 2 round pans ready for Rudolph's nose by spraying them with vegetable spray and filling them halfway to the top. Tap the pans on the counter just to help that batter even out. Place the cakes into the oven and set your timer for 12 minutes. While Rudolph's nose is cooking, we have to get started on our white cake. Take MITTY'S white cake mix, put in a bowl, and add 2 tablespoons of water. Mix well until it becomes a thickened consistency. Spray your pan and spoon the batter into your pan. Our cake mixes are thick and yummy, so be sure to tap that pan to even out your batter. Perfect timing. Our little Rudolph nose cakes are done, so we can take those out and put our white cakes in. Just look at these cookie cutters. Now we're going to be using the round cookie cutter for Rudolph's nose, but if you wanted to do something different, just look at what cookie cutters you have on hand. Do you have stars? Do you have Christmas trees? Do you have bells? Do you have hearts? You could use any cookie cutter you want to put the shape inside of your cake. So this long round tube is typically used to roll fondant. Today I'm going to use it to cut my cake. As you can see, I'm not going to take the cake out. I'm just going to keep adding to it. By doing it this way, my cakes are exactly the same and they're stacking together. So out of this one small red velvet cake, I got 6 little noses. Now, how to get those out of there? The best way to get those tiny little Rudolph noses out of that tube is to take a butter knife, wrap the narrow end in a paper towel, and then put the knife through the tube and push the tiny noses out. Our cakes are golden and done. Time to take them out. Cut out some additional noses with your second cake, just like we did the first time. If you don't have the fondant roller, simply use a round cookie cutter to cut out your cakes and then stack them together. Once your vanilla cake has cooled, loosen the edges with a plastic knife. Flip your cake out of the pan. If you have some crumbles, don't worry about it. We're going to show you how to make this gift box cake by using 1 red velvet cake mix and 1 white cake mix. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the 1 white cake mix in half. The next thing we need to do is carve out a little tunnel for the red velvet cake or Rudolph's nose to sit inside. Notice how I didn't cut that rectangle all the way to the edge of the cake? Otherwise, it would have split my cake in half again. So be sure not to cut that little tunnel all the way through to the sides of the cake. Icing the inside of the tunnel and then put your row of tiny Rudolph noses inside of it. Go ahead and cover this layer with a little bit of frosting. Now we're going to create the same tunnel on the other side of the cake. Now you want to take that side of the cake and flip it on and match it together almost like a puzzle piece. I want this to look like a box or a gift package, so this is where you want to trim up the sides if they're uneven or a little bit off. This is where we do our crumb coat. Remember, we're not trying to make this look pretty right now. We're just trying to cover all the cake. Just cleaning up our pan a little bit and finishing it up. It looks pretty good. We're going to stick it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes in the fridge, our cake is chilled and it is ready for its final pretty coating of icing. The best way to get a nice smooth finish on your tiny little cake is to use a little bit of water and keep your spatula clean. Okay, so that final coating of icing is done. Make sure to clean up your tray and then put your cake into your fridge for about another 20 minutes. I know this might look like Play-Doh, but it's actually yellow fondant. We're going to roll it out in some cornstarch to about 1/4 of an inch thick. I wanted to make sure that I had rolled my fondant out long enough because I wanted one continuous strip of ribbon on my cake. That's why I used a ruler to just roughly measure it, and look, it came out perfect. One continuous piece. I want my ribbon to be straight, so I'm just making little marks with my tape measure, and then I'll use a pizza cutter to cut it. Once my fondant is applied, I just take my fondant tool dipped in water and go over the fondant so I can get all that cornstarch off of it. Time to make the ribbon. I'm using 2 of my decorating tips to help keep my bow open because I want it to have that 3D effect. So I'm going to keep those tips in there until my fondant sets a little bit. I decided to add some polka dots to the package. There is a theme going on here. Can you guess it? Do you remember where you saw polka dots in the cartoon Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Have you guessed it yet? Do you remember where you saw polka dots in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? If so, leave a comment below. By the way, I'm only applying water to this fondant. Nothing fancy, just a little water helps it stick. The round end of this fondant tool makes everything look a little ripply, a little wavy. So I think it'll look great on the tail end of the ribbon. So have you figured out the polka dots yet? To make our bow look a little more fancy, I'm going to add these tiny little white candies. I don't want my bow to collapse as I apply these little white candies, so I'm using the end of my paintbrush to keep the structure from collapsing. Okay, every gift needs a tag, so let's make our gift tag. And there you have it, our tiny gift box cake. I think it's time to open this tiny little gift box cake, don't you? Let's get a slice and see what we can find. Did it work? It did! There's Rudolph's nose. Isn't that cute? Okay, tiny bakers, we've showed you how to do it. It's your turn. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel and check us out at www.mittysminicooking.com. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy baking.